Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and whenever I get to talk glowing about your favorite publisher, my favorite publisher, the publisher that has just been making strides in the gaming world, making gaming a better place for us all, we're talking about Ubisoft. Of course, Ubisoft is beloved, and obviously I'm joking, but last year and over the course of the last 16 months or so, game ownership has become a huge point of discussion for a lot of people. Valve and Steam had updated Steam directly when you check out. Obviously, that was always kind of known, but now they have it outlined right away when you check out. You're buying a game license, and Ubisoft shutting down The Crew, I think, was a wake-up call for a lot of people. Whereas, you look at a game like The Crew, that's a game that should, in theory, be playable offline, and you should have access to it. And it's not like that game came out that long ago. It's a game that should be playable offline, and the fact that it came out only a decade or so ago, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that long, and that really opened a lot of people's eyes to the bigger picture of game preservation and game ownership. Ubisoft then got sued, and now they're going back and forth. And Ubisoft, as noted on Polygon, has responded to California gamers' The Crew shutdown lawsuit in late February, filing to dismiss the case. The company's lawyers argued in that filing, reviewed by Polygon, and look, I get that the headlines and even the title of this video makes it seem like, oh, Ubisoft, this is so great of them to do. Now, to be fair, it is their lawyers. The lawyers are obviously going to fight on their behalf, and they're not thinking about what looks best as far as what's going to be best for Ubisoft in the headlines. They're just trying to win this court case, which I understand, but it was noted that there was no reason for players to believe that they were purchasing unfettered ownership rights in the game. Ubisoft has made it clear, lawyers claim, that when you buy a copy of The Crew, you're merely buying a limited access license. Frustrated with Ubisoft's recent decision to retire the game following a notice period on the product's packaging, plaintiffs apply a kitchen sink approach on behalf of a putative class of nationwide consumers, alleging 8 causes of action, including violations of California's false advertising law, unfair competition law, and Consumer Legal Remedies Act, as well as common law fraud and breach of warranty claims, Ubisoft's lawyers wrote. Ubisoft's The Crew came out back in 2014, and the servers have shut down. Now, the game, if you have it on Steam, which I actually do, you can still pull the game up on your Steam profile, and you can actually still install the game. It's 25 gigabytes or so, 24 and a half gigs, and obviously it won't work after that. Like, it's GG no re. I believe there's like some offline mod or something that's being worked on that'll preserve the game, but don't quote me on that. But nobody, I think the majority of people don't really care about The Crew that much. Obviously, there are people that do. I shouldn't say nobody cares about The Crew, but this is in reflection to the larger aspect of gaming. What could this mean in the future with other games? Now, The Crew got so much pushback, Crew shutting down got so much pushback, that Ubisoft outright came out and they said Crew 2 and Crew Motorfest are gonna have offline options. So Ubisoft realizes that they effed up. I guess that it's an issue of they can't go back and restore The Crew, or there are some issues with The Crew and preserving that game. Whatever the case may be, remember that it is so insulting to me when it comes to Ubisoft games like this, because a lot of these Ubisoft games, again, they should be playable offline. The Crew is a game that you think you should be able to play it offline when you assess what it is, but it's also these games that people have poured hundreds upon hundreds, or Ubisoft incentivizes the player to pour hundreds upon hundreds of dollars into these games, and then they have the opportunity to shut them down as well. Maybe it's a thing of, oh, you should read the fine print. Oh, you should realize this could happen. Okay, we should all realize things like this could happen, and the publisher and the game owners have this kind of power. But to execute this level of power, when you are selling gold editions for $110, when you're selling ultimate editions for $130, and I forgot the price structuring of The Crew, but there were deluxe editions, ultimate editions, things of that nature, and you're shutting those games down again just a decade after, when it's a game game that you would think could have an offline component. Ubisoft's a big company. They got a lot of resources. Would it be that big of an effort to be like, hey, we're going to implement an offline component to the game, but the game is going to cease updates, the online connectivity is going to shut down, whatever the case may be, at least so you can preserve the content that you did pay money for, that would be great. And what does this mean for other games? I don't think it's going to happen with games like Assassin's Creed. Of course, maybe, 20 years down the line, Assassin's Creed Origins, whatever, the microtransactions of the games aren't available, or maybe they will be. Honestly, those Assassin's Creed game may be seen as evergreen by Ubisoft, and they're like, we can make microtransaction money off of them for years and years. But Ubisoft is in flux right now as well, and in a situation like this, obviously, it is the lawyers that they're making these claims, but Ubisoft doesn't have a lot of goodwill where people are going to be like, oh, it's just the lawyers saying this. It's not like Ubisoft has done a lot of good by the consumer. The only thing good that Ubisoft has done, and you can even assess whether or not this is good, I guess you could look at them bringing their games back to Steam with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and then, like, the pre-order bonus, being that expansion that they were going to charge money for, and them eliminating the gold edition and the ultimate edition. You could look at that and maybe be like, okay, that's kind of cool that they did do that, but maybe that's reflective of how in the gutter Ubisoft has been, and that being reflective of our expectations being so low, because my joy for what Ubisoft is doing is the fact that they didn't release a $130 Ultimate Edition, that they're bringing their game into the dominant PC games platform, that I still have to go through their garbage client. Like, Ubisoft Connect is still here, and, I still have to go through that. If they really wanted to build some goodwill, that's what they should have done. They should have eliminated the necessity to use Ubisoft Connect outright. They should have done some gimmick where it was like, how Sony does it, where you can link your Ubisoft account and maybe you'll get a bonus, but it shouldn't have any mandatory linking whatsoever for a single-player game. Assassin's Creed Shadows, at the end of the day, is a single-player game, and when you look at the assessment of Ubisoft in totality right now, a lot of their future is in flux. There's a lot of debate on whether or not Assassin's Creed Shadows is doing well, isn't doing well. And until we actually get some hard numbers, I feel like it's very difficult to assess that. I will say this, the fact that they keep touting this, we have 2 million players, 3 million players, and won't give us a hard sales number, and the fact that, again, we looked at the concurrent player count number on Steam, and I feel like that is at least an unbiased number that we're gonna get. The numbers that Ubisoft are gonna give you directly, especially using the term players, those can be manipulated. That can be manipulated. The concurrent player count number, that's something that SteamDB tracks. It's not tracked by Ubisoft, so I feel like that is a good metric, but it's only one metric. Ideally, you would want several metrics, and I would like a hard sales number, and also you have to assess the fact that that game cost a lot of money to make. Not to get on another diatribe about that game, I uploaded like a 17-minute video breaking down the numbers on that game, and I feel like I did the best objective job of breaking down the numbers we have at our disposal to that game, because it's a game that instills so much like emotion and passion, and for obvious reasons, people just want to bug out and they want to take the numbers for what confirms their viewpoint rather than actually assessing the numbers objectively, which I feel like I did as best of a job as I could in that 17-minute video. That video didn't end up getting any views, but it's, when I say views, I mean relative to other content I upload, but I really wanted to do that video since I like breaking down numbers, but I like to break down numbers in context with other numbers being available and try to do it as objectively as possible. We don't have every metric at our disposal, but it's good to compare and try to be as objective as possible. But it's like Ubisoft has a lot of work to do in terms of restoring goodwill, in terms of restoring faith into their products. I think people, for the most part, like Shadows. Like, everybody that I talk to seems to enjoy Shadows, but I think there's work Assassin's Creed could do in the future, and hopefully this next mainline Assassin's Creed game, what I'm hearing about it might be a little bit different. This is after the Black Flag remake. Hopefully that is another step in the right direction, but as far as the crew goes and the shutdown, what a wild story, and the lawyers, what they say, they're gonna be taken, and they're gonna make a lot of video headlines, and I do feel a little bit bad for Ubisoft. as little as possible, because I'm sure Ubisoft, at least this could be totally foolish on my part, and it probably is totally foolish. I feel like they've realized the error of their ways with what went down with the crew, given that they're adding offline components to the crew 2 and the crew Motorfest. You could tell me that, hey, they should be crapped on just on the basis for thinking they could get away with it in the first place. But you know what, companies F up, and if you're willing to course correct, I feel like you should be given the opportunity to course correct. It's just Ubisoft has been effing up for a very, very long time. It's not like the crew is this isolated instance with Ubisoft, and that's the only thing that's went down with them. It's been F up after F up after F up, and after those accumulate over so many years, now we're facing the consequences of it. I mean, I've been talking about everything Ubisoft has been doing for years and years. It's just that now we're facing the consequences of it, which is kind of how these things go. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And obviously, this is going to continue to be a big story within the realm of gaming for the foreseeable future as far as game ownership, especially with the Nintendo Switch 2 and game keycards being a thing. So that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.